Stop by to interact with the community and I every Friday night at 8 o'clock for live stream Fridays.
Welcome, trolls. First sees all.
Hey there everyone, Bruce Ward's here. Thanks for stopping by to the live stream this morning, guys. I greatly appreciate that. Thanks for the support for coming out. So, a lot of people tell me on certain channels that this bridge isn't there. Oh, this is beautiful. I dug up a few Bianchini and sinus iridium photos. We're going to really examine them. As you can see in the bottom center of the photo, a tad bit of pixelation there. Oh yeah, people don't know what pixelation is, and most are telling me that these are pixels. For the proof, look up right away on Google, type in sinus iridium, or type in where is sinus iridium, just type in sinus iridium. Go to Wikipedia when it pops up on the right, and look at the first picture they show on Wikipedia. That straight line is there, and every single object around it. It's very small, you'll see it with the naked eye, the photo, but it's very small, you'll need a magnifying lens. But come on, guys, like some of you are telling me that that line's not there, it's pixelation. Come on, it's even in NASA pictures, for Pete's sakes. And now I want to talk about the square on the right here. This is something exquisite, and I showed it also yesterday in the footage that there are squares there. This is a perfect symmetry that you can see. And some of you are telling me that the lines that I am showing that are crossing each other is pixelation because they're so straight. Well, you see that this square there is not pixelation. So again, I'm just showing you the proof that there are square objects and real symmetrical square holes on the surface of the moon. It's right there, right in front of us. Now this is exquisite. It's photography, guys. Even though most of you don't understand what I'm doing, enjoy what I'm showing you. We're into the photo. We're looking at a low angle view. We're looking at that bridge-like structure right there and every single bloody connection of that object. It's not just a pixel. It's not something floating there. It's something that's on Wikipedia, in all the moon photos. It's that everything is so small and people are not taking the time to zoom up and look at things. We see smaller structures over here on the right, and those black dots, I didn't find them the first day. I had to zoom in so close and they started to appear. Blurry at first, and now these beautiful shots. Calm down, Bruce. Here are the structures a bit further in the back too. So all these blurry spots are smaller structures. Mix some hazes with that, and wow. I mean, for us to get in close enough for us to start seeing these, we have to start appreciating what we're able to see first. So basically how it works, people come and say that they're, oh, look at these entrances and the objects inside, look at the connection going to it, you know. I repeat, and I love doing it, but it's getting old, right? I mean, these smaller structures on the surface, and then someone tells me it's impossible due to optics, and they say that before looking at the research, and then they come see the video and it's like a record scrape. They stop and they go, what the hell? Well, look, it's straight up, it's obvious, and that's what it would look like, construction on the moon, right? Well, we're looking at it. Hang on, John Lear, I'm getting there. So, guys, looking at these objects on the surface, let's just say that each of these were a building, for example. How many people do you think would be, drumroll please, on the surface of the moon? I mean, seriously. And that's only on the surface, so you can only imagine. There are the connections, can you see that? It takes a while to be able to see them when you zoom in. You can appreciate them. You can see that they're there. You know, these objects aren't just floating there. I'm actually showing there's an actual type of, connection to the surface and in relations to how these objects are sitting on the surface. When I'm searching and I'm researching, I'm not looking for buildings. I'm looking at out-of-place objects, like these objects. Maybe they're not buildings. Maybe, like John Lear says, some are mechanical. Most likely some are, but I know they're constructed. Some of them look like mining areas. Yes, I definitely agree with that. Some of the parts of the craters themselves look constructed. People are so bloody preoccupied as to how I'm doing this some magical way, they think, They look at this picture and say, oh wow, what's that gray on the right there and that line? And they're always trying to find out crap that doesn't have anything to do with what I'm trying to show. I'm so close and pressed up right now that you could see the pixelation starting that layer over the entire photo. Objects getting, saw teeth edges everywhere. But you still use that technique to show this. What is it? How come you didn't see it before? Because I wasn't close enough, right? So now I'm showing you that that supposed bridge is not a supposed bridge. It actually is, or is a structure, because there's actually objects symmetrically placed and that are symmetrical right there on the surface. When I took this still, a snapshot, right during the video, it was in a transition of changing frames. So everyone wonders what the hell the thing is on the right. Just get over it, guys. Look at the surface. You want someone to look at some detail, and I am talking about the trolls. You want someone to look at the center, and they're looking at the edges. They're looking at, what's that red dot? What's that flash? What's that in the edge? If I'm not mentioning it, it's because freaking nothing. You know, why is it a mystery that when you grab a photo and lie it down, like in a program I did here, that the edges come in, people say, well, why do we see edges? It's a bloody photo. This is a nice one, right? Oh yeah, sinus iridum, the apple bite. Often people will discredit my work because, well, often, no, actually there's only 3 people discrediting my work, but because of the, my unorthodox way is what they say. Look at this darkness at the end of the sinus iridum mountain. I have my ways. People have their own ways of doing the editing, but by showing a photo lying down in a 45-degree angle, in a low angle view, I can't see how I'm manipulating anything anyway. We're getting a different perspective, and that's what's helping us see the truth, see the surface exactly how it's made. Bianchini crater, top left, and you can see the beautiful structure and objects around it. It's sensational to be able to see it, and we're going to be able to see more and more of these regions. I'm filming along the Terminator line, and it's very revealing. So far we're seeing a lot. That is a massive object. It's just beside Bianchini crater, right beside it. It's there. It can be seen in any other picture, but probably very far away. And I'm close up. You see the structures? How? Listen. The structures are forming the crater. There's no crater right here. There's a perfectly symmetrical square that from far out is very blinding and white, and no one's taken the time to see if it's symmetrical. I'm sorry. It can't be anything else because I'm doing it, and it's there, and it's been done with 3 telescopes. An amazingly cool crater with what looks like a ship in it. It's a square-ish crater, very straight-edged crater, as you can see it going around there. Different levels on the sides, a long line on the left, bridge-like object right there. It's really interesting. You'd see a lot of surface objects in the center of this crater, and this is in the Southern Highlands, not very far from Clavius crater. Only one area of the moon has this very unique light with all this haze, electrical haze around it. Very interesting. Now take a wild guess at where we are. We're seeing the crater in the center and the interior of that crater. It's not on the internet, I'll tell you that. We're in Clavius crater, and these are the craters right on top of Clavius crater. We're looking at craterlets. Yeah, and on the right there, the detail of objects on the surface that have each their own distinct color, elevation, shape, size, or form, all connected to one another on a lush green surface. Why am I saying lush green surface? Because I heard somebody say in the comments section on Facebook on my channel, wow, we can, on a moon video, saying that, well, it's not very green. You can really tell there's nothing up there. It's in your minds, guys. I mean, the surface of the moon is that colorful. Just amazing to see these setups. You're looking at what I believe is a massive industrial setup, production of something, a center of something, a machine. It looks like a motor, right? Honestly, when you're looking at it, all these connections, pipes, liquids going through that, you can see that there's clearly something constructed here in color. There's no filter here. This is a close-up shot of the surface, just straight up inside of Clavius crater with the square craters. You can see all the objects. Sorry. And the pipes, I'll show you also. Watch this. I've been showing them for the past couple of weeks, these connections, let's just call them. Often you'll hear me say corridors or train systems. Look at this one. A pipe on one side, for example. I'll say a pipe. Pipe on the other side. Pipe on this side. Two on this side. One on the other side. And what are they going to? It's all connected to this line, massive column going sideways that's connected to another one. It doesn't end. It's connection after connection after connection. And that's the beautiful part and what absolutely proves that we're not looking at pixelation. We're looking at a lush green surface on the surface of the moon, without a doubt. Look at this. Inversion. Love it. But now the inversion, I want to see the white part. Or just the same part, but a lot better than that. So let's take down the exposure, my friend. Duh. It's not hard. Look at that. Look at the setup. You see how they're all connected? Some type of massive objects that are all connected together on the surface. Are there people in there? Liquids? Who knows? Andrea Gray, thank you so much for stopping by the community and for the generous contribution. Angela Wade, Anthony Leatherbarrel, Russ Baker, I love you guys. Kyle Johnson, Mr. Steve Towers, Shar Gordon, Ingerlee Strom, and the anonymous donations. Thanks a lot, guys. Aliens are gone. Aliens are gone. And they're minding really up there. And they're minding on the moon. Aliens are gone. Aliens are gone. There's fire really up there. And they're minding on the moon. Aliens are gone. Aliens are gone. And they may be coming soon.
This is Houston. Say again, please.